Hello, it's Rob here and welcome to my video on a further round of mods and upgrades to my Tamiya Lancia Delta Integrale on the tt-02 chassis. The first of the mods was basically due to a breakage. If we take a look at this rear steering knuckle here, you can probably see some traces of glue. And what happened was, when I was doing my first round of mods, I discovered that this had broken. So I glued it together and patched it up and fixed it, but thought, it's broken once, it's only been out twice I think, possibly 3 times, and it's broken, so I thought the other side's going to break, so let's get some replacements. And what I found on the lovely internet is this little beast here, which is an aluminium hop-up. It wasn't much more expensive than getting a replacement set of Tamiya plastic ones, but the good thing is it's got 3 degrees of toe in on them, and you can probably just about see the other one that side. So I've quickly swapped them and all's well. The second hop-up was to replace this stock 19 tooth pinion gear with a 22 tooth hop-up that should match my mate's XV01. So we can then see if that helps me with any speed increase. And the thing with this is, if we get this in view, because my first round of mods, I updated the spur gear from the 70 tooth to the 68 tooth to fit the 22 tooth pinion gear into the car. I've ended up mounting the motor onto the motor plate in the holes designed for the 20 tooth pinion, due to the two teeth less on the spur gear. So that's already in and sorted. That other one was just to show you the difference. As you can see, if they're both together, there's quite a bit of difference there in the size, so hopefully that should give me some more speed. The next mods I did was to hopefully decrease the turning circle, and also to enable me to adjust the steering so that I can put some toe in on the front wheels now that I've got toe in on the back. And what I've ended up having to do is to, if we take these here, oops, is to cut one of the steering stops off the top and lower wishbones. I'll just show you the top ones here. As you can see, I've ended up not having to do it on the top ones, it turned out, but as I cut the one off before I discovered that I could do it without, I thought I'd show you the top ones because they're easier to take off. I've left the bottom ones on. But then I also discovered, if you can see here, that the stock plastic dog bone and drive cup were also limiting the amount of steering. So I've ended up going for some, I think they're Fastrax aluminium front steering CVD joints. Couldn't get my words out then. And then what I've also done is made myself up some kind of turnbuckles, but this is just using some 3mm threaded bar and some plastic ball ends, and also some spare brass ball joints, ball connectors for the steering. So hopefully now I can adjust that to give me some toe in. The last mod in this round was to try and increase the ground clearance. Now at the end of this bit I'll put a couple of photos up of before and after with a nice ruler just showing the difference in ground clearance I've been able to get. Now to start with, all I did was change this stock ball end connector on the piston rod for one of these longer ones. If we just pull that back, you can see it's quite a bit longer than this one. However, once I'd fitted that, I'd still got no extra ground clearance on the front, and that's because if we take a look at this, which is still the stock one, I don't know if you can see, oh there we go, you can see this flat edge here. That was limiting the up and down movement of the steering knuckle, along with a tiny bit on the bottom wishbone, but I haven't had to modify the wishbone. So to work around this, what I've done is, if we see here, I've taken a scalpel and I've removed that excess plastic there to give me some more movement, but then I've also had to, if we look at this, which is this is a spacer for the top of the steering knuckle, and I've ended up chamfering that edge here all the way around to give me some more clearance. And then for the bottom wishbone, all I've had to do is take some plastic off this edge here, and with that I think I've gone from about 28mm to about 35mm ground clearance. While putting the car back together, I've suddenly realised that I'd forgot to mention about the length of these shocks now. If you can see there, they're still a bit longer with the ball joints in the topmost position. Now I could move it to the bottom location, but at the minute what I've done is I've taken off all the pretensioners off the spring so that it's quite, I won't say loose, but not as tight as I'd like it to be. And what happens is, with the having to push the piston up a bit, it just puts a slight bit of tension on the spring, so that there we go, so that it preloads the spring a bit. So I don't need any pretensioners, I hope, at the minute. So with that, I think that's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.